Chapter 321 Public Dog Abuse. Just ask the women in the Summer Chamber of Commerce, who has never admired the young and promising Xia Qing. Although they all knew that they were not worthy of Xia Qing, they could finally imagine it. They also know that Xia Qing will have one or more women to accompany him in the future. However, when all this really happened in front of their eyes, it was inevitable for a while of loss. Conference room, outside the door. When arriving here, Xia Qing put her down at Anna's strong request. After Anna sorted her clothes, she flashed behind Xia Qing and let him go in first. In this regard, Xia Qing couldn't help issue, and then pushed the door and walked in. "I'll be back so soon, how about it, President, get it done." The moment he saw Xia Qing, Giles laughed and wanted to ask about Anna. But, just as he said these words, he saw Anna, who had a cold look on her face, come out from behind Xia Qing. Anna gave her a sideways glance, then put on a rather kind smile and asked, "What's up, Captain Giles?" Seeing Anna's eyes, Giles couldn't help shuddering deeply and waved his hands quickly. "No, don't get me wrong, I mean get it done, get it done." Well, Giles really couldn't think of a lie to prevaricate Anna for a while. "Okay, let's move on to discussing things, we still have a lot to discuss." Xia Qing glanced at Anna and couldn't help but feel helpless, interrupting Anna's questioning. Then, openly held her hand and walked towards the leader's seat. Looking at this scene, a red glow suddenly rose above Anna's snow-like head, which was extremely charming. "Wow, as expected of the president, actually." Seeing this scene, Giles immediately coaxed, but was immediately glared back by Anna. "Okay, let's talk serious business." Xia Qing looked at the aunt's smile on the faces of everyone present, and brought the meeting back to the theme. "Everyone knows that if I open up my relationship with Hancock, then someone like me who has business dealings with the Whitebeard pirates will definitely be deeply feared by Marine. What they need is 7 pirates who have different hearts, and may even fight with each other to help them contain the 4 emperors and deter other pirates. Instead of 2 Shichibukai directly forming a husband and wife alliance, it will become a big scourge. Therefore, it is very likely that they will cancel the title of Hancock Shichibukai. After all, canceling my Shichibukai title does not have much effect. At that time, without the Shichibukai title, Hancock's country is in danger. So, I plan to move the headquarters of our Summer Chamber of Commerce to the sky above the windless belt to guard Hancock's Amazon Lily. What do you think? This matter is very important, so Xia Qing wants to hear the opinions of everyone present and brainstorm. You asked me to develop the Sky Island ground connection device and the Sky Island drive device just to prevent this. Giles spoke, and saw Xia Qing's expression through his face. Yes, Xia Qing never denied this. "I agree," Anna was the first to say. "I have no opinion." Anna listlessly took a bite of the apple and said, "I think it's pretty good." Didia and Hulina said at the same time. "This plan is indeed the best one. The control over the distribution of the New World will be stronger in the future." Tezzolo, who participated in this meeting through the phone bug, also praised it. Chapter 322 Crisis Comes. You decide, I have no opinion. Zoro, Daz Bones, and Ace all looked like I had no opinion, the expression you came. Bentham and Chopper also nodded in agreement. What do you think, Nami? You are a navigator, and you are very knowledgeable about air currents and weather. What do you think? Xia Qing looked at the last person again, the sailor Nami of the Summer Chamber of Commerce, and left. The windless zone, very good, suitable for a base stop. Nami heard the words, spread out the map, and after thinking for a while, she also gave an answer in agreement. Okay, this issue is passed, let's start the next issue. Mock Town, who will stay and guard? Xia Qing asked a very crucial question. This. Don't say it, this question is really asking everyone. If possible, no one wants to stay behind. After all, the days of staying and guarding are too boring. Moreover, without a certain management ability, it is impossible to be competent for this position. And these people here, it seems that few of them have management ability. Except for Anna, Enel, and Gills, they seem to be gone. This made the conference room suddenly fall into silence. Xia Ching, who was watching this scene, couldn't help but sigh and said, "It's still too few managers. Otherwise, I wouldn't choose from them." The reason why Xia Ching was not promoted from those recruited was because those people came to the Summer Chamber of Commerce for too short a time, and their qualifications and abilities were not enough to take on this important task. Most importantly, Xia Ching didn't trust them enough. "Come on, my strength should be enough." At this moment, Pazalu, who had been silent all along, suddenly spoke up and offered himself this position. "You're here. I didn't expect you to stand up. I'm quite surprised." Hearing Pazalu's words, Xia Ching couldn't help being pleased with Isho, half-jokingly said, "If Natsusama can trust me, let me be the president of this branch." Pazalu looked at Xia Ching and answered firmly, "Okay, then it's hard work for you, Pazaru." After listening to Pazalu's words, Xia Ching officially appointed him. Next topic. Xia Ching continued to raise issues, and then continued the discussion. Time, so slowly in their discussion, 3 hours passed. During these 3 hours, they discussed all kinds of things and covered all aspects. "Okay, let's end the meeting here. Next, everyone will proceed according to our ideas just now." Before Xia Ching got up and finished speaking, a terrifying tremor suddenly interrupted him. Boom! Suddenly there was a dull sound like a falling meteor from a distance. This shock was simply shocking. The next moment, from the violent tremor, the people screamed in panic, and the situation seemed to be extremely flustered. Whoosh! Xia Ching immediately rushed out of the conference room, and then, observation hockey released, and his face suddenly became extremely solemn. Hey, is this domineering and murderous aura serious? It's too scary, right? Katakori's aura is just like that. Who is it, who will suddenly appear here? Xia Ching's heart suddenly sank. If Xia Ching were to evaluate this aura, it would be like an evil ghost crawling out of hell, fierce and brutal. Chapter 323. It's no use for you to stay. Thunder Hunter, come out for me. It was at this time that a violent momentum spread throughout the entire mock town, suppressing and domineering, making the sky of the entire mock town dark. Conqueror Hockey. Xia Ching couldn't help but be startled again, but he didn't have time to think about it. The kaleidoscope writing wheel was activated, and a china shot out, Overlord Spiritual Shock. Boom! A wave of air swept through the air, and the rumbling pair encountered the oppressive aura, which immediately triggered an outrageous gust of wind raging out. Ah! Suddenly, there was another scream, but at this moment, Shamuyang had no chance to worry about those, because... What a strong conqueror! Xia Ching only felt that there was a 10,000 force oppressing his spirit, so let him surrender directly like this. Who the hell is he, and why I have no impression of this aura? When did there be such a terrifying person in the first half of the Great Route, and he asked me by name? When did I offend such a terrifying guy? Xia Ching has infinite doubts in his heart, but now is not the time. The most important thing now is to get out of this momentum. Xia Ching immediately gathered up all his courage, and confronted him fiercely. Boom! The confrontation of the two's conqueror directly caused Vivi to crack the earth, and the two's hockey confrontation has already caused actual damage. Boom boom boom. The momentum confrontation continued for a full minute and then stopped, and the surroundings were already chaotic. Not bad, you can actually stop my conqueror. Very good, you didn't disappoint me, Thunder Hunter. At this time, Xia Ching felt a sudden blackness on his head, followed by a strong voice. He couldn't help but look up, but saw a burly man in a military uniform, rushing towards him with a look of excitement. Bullet! Seeing this man, Xia Ching couldn't help exclaiming, and there was a sense of horror in his tone. He never thought that it was him who attacked this mock town. He can recognize Bullet at a glance, because before he crossed into this world, the plot of the original novel just happened to have him as a character. There is no doubt that this is a very powerful character. After all, if you can hang a supernova 2 years later, can that be an ordinary person? Gills, Didia, Hulina, Pazaru, hurry up and evacuate the crowd. Enel, Anna, you two stay to help me, and the rest go to protect the people. The next battle is not at the level that you can intervene. Behind Shajur-Ching, the moment Anna and the others came, Shajur-Ching directly issued such an order. I want to. Hearing Shajur-Ching's words, Gilles was immediately dissatisfied, and wanted to argue, but he was interrupted by Shajur-Ching before he said a word. Don't be long-winded, hurry up, you won't be able to leave if it's too late, and the loss will be even greater. This guy is a member of the Roger Pirates. If you want to fight against him, at least 5 Vice Admiral elites from the headquarters must be dispatched. Gilles, do you think you can do anything if you stay? Shajur-Ching's tone was quite hurried, with a strong and unquestionable tone. What, the crew of One Piece, King of Pirates? Hearing this, Gilles and the others couldn't help but be taken aback, and after saying, take care, they immediately left without any hesitation. As Shajur-Ching said, they left nothing to do. On the contrary, it may become a burden. Soldiers are more valuable, not more, that's the truth. Chapter 324. Do not disappoint me. I didn't expect you to know me, Thunder Hunter. I'm starting to become more and more interested in you. Bullet did not stop Gilles and the others from leaving, but glanced at Shajur-Ching with great interest, and the fighting intent in his eyes had been condensed into substance. Come on, Thunder Hunter, I hope your strength won't let me down. After all, the bullet is pressing like an arrow from the string. Akina. The opponent is Bullet. Shajur-Ching didn't dare to be careless at all. Achi's quadrupled strength came out. Bang! In an instant, a splendid spark flew up, the whole earth trembled, and a large pit of more than 50 meters was blown apart. Shajur-Ching felt like he was colliding with the rushing heavy train. The strength of this force made him instantly boil with energy and blood, and his figure was forced back several steps. What's the matter, is this not going to work? Seeing this, Bullet laughed horribly, and another fist exploded in the air, causing the sky to tremble. Thunderbolt, Chidori Sharp Spear. Shajur-Ching's thoughts moved, and terrifying thunder and lightning appeared all over his body, turning into a long spear and stabbing at Bullet's chest, and the manic thunder and lightning in the sky also entangled like a bone-encrusted maggot, trying to force back Bullet. The mere lightning and thunder guns, what can I do? Faced with the lightning that even Katakuri had to dodge, Bullet attacked with one punch, confronting him head-on. Boom! Qiandiao's sharp spear slammed the iron fist, and in an instant, an amazing wave of air and manic thunder and lightning raged around, making both Anna and Enel struggle to resist. Shave! Shajur-Ching immediately flashed back, and then appeared behind Bullet, with a terrifying and sharp sword intent lingering all over his body, and shouted, Yi Dao Lulibo. Merely Janbo, spread out for me. Bullet drank wildly again, and the thunder gun shattered with force, and then, the wild punch caused the air to explode again and collided with each other again. Boom! There was another shocking sound of collision, the sound shook all directions, and the gravel was like a powerful bullet, shattering everything around it. It's so powerful. What a horrible guy. Anna and Enel watched the battle and said in amazement. The two of them were completely unable to intervene, and could only watch Shajur-Ching and Bullet engage in such a fierce battle. Lay done flying thunder sword. Shajur-Ching condensed a thunder sword, and then, the thunder and lightning in the sky and the strength of the whole body condensed into one point, and it exploded out of the air. Boom! The air instantly exploded into a terrifying ring of air, hitting Bullet like a light, knocking him out heavily. Thunderbolt, Chidori Sharp Spear. Shajur-Ching drank wildly again, and the whole body suddenly exploded with thunder, turned into a light-speed spear, and chased away. But Just when the spear was about to hit Bullet, he disappeared into the air with a swish. Little devil, that blow just now really hurts. Bullet's ferocious face appeared in front of Shajur-Ching like this. With a punch that seemed to shatter the world, it smashed heavily on Shajur-Ching's chest, never giving Shajur-Ching a chance to resist. Bang! The moment Shajur-Ching was hit, it turned into a piece of wood and shattered into a sky full of sawdust. Very good. Bullet's pupils moved suddenly when he saw this scene, and then, he turned around suddenly and blasted out another powerful punch. Chapter 325 Astonished. Bang! Shajur-Ching just appeared in front of his punch, and the sword intent on the flowing fire was vertical and horizontal, with the power to tear the world, and it collided fiercely again. Om! Another outrageous explosion, the earth sank more than 1 meter in an instant, and a 100-meter hole exploded around it. This power was so terrifying that even the earth couldn't bear it and let out a howl. The surrounding buildings were destroyed in an instant, and there was no chance of survival at all. In the distance, Ace, who was evacuating the people, Didia and the others listened to the huge movement from Shajur-Ching, and couldn't help swallowing at the same time. Their eyes are full of horror and moving colors. This level of collision has completely surpassed any battle they have experienced before. No wonder let us leave, this level of collision is indeed not something we can participate in. There is such a strong person in the first half of the Great Route, which is really terrifying. We are there, it is estimated that it is really just a burden. Didia and the others thought so weakly. One day, I will be able to reach this point, definitely. Ace looked at Shajur-Ching's direction, and swore in his heart that he would not admit defeat. Back to Shajur-Ching again. Boom! Bullet and Shajur-Ching directly launched a fierce battle with super high speed and great power. Even the two of them, Anna, could only see two phantoms constantly colliding with sparks, causing the air to twist and wave. The positions of the two people are constantly changing, and there are terrifying aftermaths of each other. Only the crater that is constantly bursting and sinking shows everyone how fierce and terrifying the battle between the two is. Crack! Hem! Thorn! All kinds of voices kept coming, and blood splashed out from time to time. Boy, you are very good. I haven't met a young strong man like you for a long time. Very good, you made me fight so much, I'll give you a decent way to die. Bullet's voice suddenly came over, making Anna's heart suddenly twitch. Listening to Bullet's words, Shajur-Ching seems to be at a disadvantage. Boom! In the next moment, a lightning-fast phantom was slammed down heavily, causing Anna to look at it immediately. Thunderbolt, heavenly tribulation and thunder punishment. The man in the air shouted loudly, and a chakra burst into the sky. Hearing this, Anna felt relieved. Because, the person who was blasted out was Bullet. Boom! The next moment, a billowing black cloud shrouded the entire mock town, and a manic thunder and lightning exploded, illuminating the 4 directions, and then, it turned into a thunderstorm and descended. Boom! The whole island seemed to be pierced, and the terrifying momentum directly blew both Enel and Anna out. Town, the waves rolled for a while, and then turned into stormy waves, slamming Mock Town, a feeling that Mock Town will be submerged directly. Immediately, this huge movement caused panic among the people on the entire island of Mock Town. This movement was as if the island was about to sink. It was too terrifying. Is this kind of strength really what humans can achieve? It's a bit too scary. This can no longer be described by human beings, nor can it be measured by human standards. Some people in the public watched this scene, and they all felt a sense of shock. Chapter 326 Good, that's enough. Boom boom boom. The bombardment of this thunder and lightning continued for a whole minute, and the surrounding kilometers were completely immersed in the thunder and lightning, leaving only a terrifying pit in Mock Town. This time, it must have hurt him. Shajur-Ching wiped the cold sweat on his forehead and continued to output for such a long time. His chakra consumption was quite large. Is this your strongest blow? Thunder Hunter, it's not enough, it's not enough. Just as Shajur-Ching was thinking like this, Bullet's low voice came from hell again. Shajur-Ching couldn't help being shocked when he heard the words, and immediately looked at him, but saw an extremely fast phantom suddenly attacked in front of him. Bullet attacked brazenly, and that hideous face appeared again. There are countless burns on his body, and there are faint thunder and lightning explosions, but he is like no one, and he comes arrogantly. Boom! Shajur-Ching once again turned into a piece of wood and shattered, but Bullet suddenly stomped and punched out to his left rear. The next second, Shajur-Ching appeared in front of his fist, facing Bullet's fist. His eyes widened in horror. He didn't expect that his dodging route would be seen through by Bullet, and if he wanted to dodge again, it was too late. At the moment of being hit hard, Shajur-Ching felt that his soul was about to be shaken away, and armament hockey's protection had no effect at all. PFF'd. Shajur-Ching immediately spewed out a large mouthful of blood, and his sternum was even broken, causing his chest to sag into it, and the whole person flew out like a sandbag. Little devil, your end is here. Bullet also came in pursuit, another punch wrapped in emission armament, and bombarded with terrifying power. Lay done furious Thunder Tiger. Seeing this scene, Shajur-Ching hurriedly released Thunder Tiger and collided. Open to me. The Thunder Tiger that came roaring this year, Bullet roared and slammed away with one punch, directly smashing the Thunder Tiger away. Naturally, Shajur-Ching immediately took advantage of this opportunity to draw a sword, which was a brazen blow, one knife style profound meaning, annihilation. Shajur-Ching stepped into the air, and passed Bullet like a meteor. Finally, Bullet, who had always been arrogant, let out a humming sound of pain. Next moment. As soon as he saw his chest, a scarlet blood flower splattered out, making his whole figure stagnate. Without waiting for Shajur-Ching to pursue, Bullet immediately backed away, the corner of his mouth showed satisfaction, and his fighting spirit became even higher, saying, "It's very good, that's enough, that's how it feels to defeat you." Integrated Battleship. A strange wave erupted in Bullet's body, and then, all the stones, wood and other objects on the ground were sucked by him like a gushing stream, and finally turned into a 50-meter iron statue. Color Giant. If it's just this level, that's fine, it's not as terrifying as the original book. Seeing this giant descending in front of him like a godlike mecha, Shajur-Ching couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. Then, the writing wheel turned extremely fast, and a cold and domineering chakra burst out, which also turned into a 50-meter statue. Tall Skeletal Giant. Chapter 327 Open Up, Susano. Susano. Shajur-Ching said in a low voice. Meridians suddenly grew out of the skeleton giant's body, flesh and blood, and the breath became heavier. Not far away, Didier and the others, who were still evacuating the crowd, looked at Susano and the giant iron-colored giant, and their faces were full of shock. To have Naji-sama use Susano, this time the enemy is too powerful. Natsu-sama, you must defeat the enemy. Didier and the others prayed like this in their hearts. If Shajur-Ching can use Desuzanu, it means that the enemy is really powerful, and Shajur-Ching must go all out. After all, if Shajur-Ching couldn't defeat this enemy, it would be even more impossible for them. If they add up, they might even win against Shajur-Ching. Back to Shajur-Ching again. Anna, Enel, the surrounding guards will be handed over to the two of you. The battle will be quite fierce later. Shajur-Ching said to Anna and Enel who were underground behind him, and then he controlled Susano with all his strength in his mind. Come on, Bullet, let me see who will win in the end. Although Shajur-Ching doesn't understand why Bullet attacked him now, it doesn't matter anymore. If you beat Bullet, you will know it naturally. 8 Arms Shira. Akina. Shajur-Ching pushed the writing wheel to the limit, and then Susano moved. Come on then, Thunder Hunter, you have to let me fight. Bullet's voice came from the giant's body, manic and excited. Boom. The two fists collided. Boom. In an instant, like a star exploding, the ground beneath their feet exploded and dented heavily. The cracks were as thick as water tanks, and the islands had been directly cracked, and the sea water slowly murmured. Gollum poured back. It was Anna who were both shaken back by the aftermath of the collision between Shajur-Ching and the two of them. With this blow to the face, Shajur-Ching's Susano actually lost to bullet, and was knocked out again. Suffer to death. Seeing this scene, Bullet immediately rushed over with a mad drink, and the entire island trembled continuously, and the waves in all directions continued, which was extremely terrifying. Lightning armor. Seeing this scene, Shajur-Ching shouted wildly, not daring to show any negligence, so he covered Susano with a piece of lightning armor, and 8 sharp long swords appeared in his hand, shouting, Yi Dao Luao Zu destroy. Quote. Boom. The sky suddenly moved and rolled up, cracking open. The air was split in an instant, suffocating. In the 4 directions of the sea, large cracks like spider webs appeared directly, and the waves were directly calmed down. Hey, this is fake, how is this possible? The sky actually cracked, is this really something a swordsman can do? Didier and the others looked at this scene, all of them couldn't help but pale in horror. Such a terrifying scene was beyond their expectations. In their eyes, Shajur-Ching's 8 long swords seemed to have the power to destroy the world, which made people shudder. Even if they were separated by such a long distance, they all felt that they were about to be split, and there was fear in their hearts. Armed. Similarly, in the face of this blow, even the bullet, don't dare to underestimate it, armament hockey is covered. After all, this is a terrifying blow that can directly split his giant. Chapter 328 Destruction. But Bullet still underestimated this blow. PFF'd. As soon as I heard such a tearing sound, a faint and sharp sword mark appeared on the chest of the giant Bullet, and the giant marked with the number 59 feet was knocked back. Yi Dao Lu Profound Truth Canry. Once the knife succeeded, Shajur-Ching drank violently again, and blood flowed directly from the rotation of the writing wheel. Susano's 8-handed long sword suddenly exuded a terrifying penetrating power, aimed at the chest of giant number 59, pierced the air and attacked. In an instant, his blow caused a terrifying gust of wind, blowing both Anna and Enel back several steps. How so strong? Anna only felt that a weight of oppression fell on her and Enel, which made their ability to move a lot slower. In fact, what Anna didn't know was that not only him, but everyone in the entire mock town felt this way, and even felt that he was about to suffocate. Even the sea kings in the surrounding waters let out a frightened neigh, and then quickly escaped. Little devil, don't be too arrogant. Facing the blow that seemed to be able to pierce his soul, Bullet also drank violently, activated his strongest armament to cover the giant's arm, and collided into a mad fist. This blow is too terrifying. If you are not careful, you will die. Boom boom boom. The collision between the two is as if the thunder in the sky is constantly exploding, and the momentum of the thunder and punishment of the robbery just now is not as terrifying as the current collision. Ah! Anna and Enel, who were near the battle, covered their ears in pain, but one could imagine the others. Back. Anna and the two did not dare to stay in the vicinity, and quickly retreated out. The ground beneath the two of them seemed to have turned into a stream of water, and under the collision of the two, it continued to flow out. Destroyed everything around, all the buildings, as fragile as tender tofu, completely annihilated in front of this aftermath. Ace and the others were far enough to escape, but the aftermath still spread, and it came with the power of destroying the sky and destroying the earth. Be careful. Seeing the terrifying aftermath that spread like a raging wave, Ace couldn't help being shocked, and then immediately opened his arms and a large flame burst out from his body, shouting, Enjomo Blaze Net. An LT, P and GT. Boom. In an instant, a wave of fire roared out, blocking the aftermath, turning the entire mock town into red. However, before everyone could breathe a sigh of relief, Ace spoke with difficulty and said, Hurry up, I won't be able to hold it anymore. 3 swords, profound truth, 3,000 worlds. Zoro reacted first, rushing out like a beast, that is, the strongest blow. Steaming dangerous fist. Didia also reacted immediately and shot immediately. Afterwards, the others immediately took action and blocked them away. Only by truly facing this aftermath will we know how terrifying the battle between Shajurching and Bullet was. The power that is like the rushing mountains and the momentum that swallows the mountains and rivers is simply despairing. Even in the sky, there are big holes. Even the sea is full of wild waves, slapping the broken island of Mock Town fiercely. Chapter 329 Illusion, Unexpected. Woo! Both of them were roaring, and both of them burst out with the strongest power. Both of them felt the shocking pressure coming, and they both knew that the opponent was not someone who could be defeated so easily. Bullet, you are strong, but... Shajurching roared wildly, you will definitely lose to me today. I, the Thunder Hunter, will not fail. His whole body seemed to be on fire, and even the heavens and the earth trembled, and he was terrified. Then let me see where your confidence comes from. Bullet also drank wildly, extremely ferociously excited, and the power on his fist suddenly became stronger. Illusion Gold Binding. Shajurching drank violently, and saw a wave of turbulent air, attacking away like a raging wave. The mere momentum, who is afraid of who? Conqueror. Bullet drank violently, Conqueror's teeth erupted, and he fought directly away. But the fluctuation that I saw directly crossed the impact of the Conqueror, and wrapped the bullet in it. Om. In the face of the incoming Conqueror, Shajurching also released the Conqueror to confront him. Bullet didn't expect that Shajurching's blow could not be blocked with Conqueror, and he felt that his body was restrained, and he couldn't move at all. How could I be bound? Give me a go. Bullet drank wildly, bursting out with a mighty force, and it was about to shake off the damned sense of restraint. However, how could Shajurching let him succeed? He glared angrily again, and shouted, Illusion, Magic, Kickoff. Another big restraint-type ninjutsu was released, and Bullet's movement suddenly became much smaller. Damn, what kind of ability is this? Why hockey has absolutely no effect on it. Bullet has never encountered such a strange ability in his entire life, so he can't help but scream in surprise. Illusion Dream Killing Technique. Shajurching did not answer him, but attacked again with an illusion. What the hell did you do? Why can't I control my body anymore? How could I, Bullet, have such suicidal thoughts? Bullet couldn't move at all, and at the same time, he still wanted to commit suicide, which made Bullet feel an incomparable sense of humiliation. Yi Dao Lu Profound Truth Extermination. Shajurching still did not respond. Instead, he gathered all his strength. The eight-armed Shira erupted again with a shocking power. The whole island trembled at an extreme speed, and the sky suddenly exploded a huge pit. Boom! With the explosion of the earth, Susano twisted his body to charge up, and rushed forward like a huge cheetah. Like the starlight in the dark night, the eight-handed longsword passed the giant of Bullet again, and the fierce sword intent burst out, which immediately produced a terrifying effect. PFF'd. 59 feet's chest was torn open, and Bullet looked at the falling chakra sword in awe, but couldn't move at all. No. Bullet drinks wildly, but the result of the battle will never change with Bullet's subjective will. Thorn. A sharp pain hit, blood splattered, Bullet screamed again, the giant shattered and fell to the ground, and the bullet also fell directly. Enel, Thunder Attack. Shajurching's chakra was almost exhausted, but Bullet still needed the last blow, so he gave the chance to Enel. Chapter 330 What a Great Descendant. Anna, limit his mobility. Don't let him run away. Shajurching said to Anna again, let him activate the ability to stop Bullet from moving. Understood. Anna responded with a sound and immediately activated her ability, and the earth in all directions suddenly roared like a swamp. A mud flow wrapped Shajurching, and then suddenly became extremely hard, tightly binding Bullet. Hey, accept Thor's punishment, you bastard. Enel was awe-inspiring Isho, and his breath suddenly became quite sharp. In an instant, he was covered in thunder and lightning, and turned into a giant Thor. Then he pointed to the sky, and the thunderclouds that had just spread out came together again in an instant. Moreover, they were stronger than the thunderclouds that Shajur-Ching had just now. Among them, there are thunder snakes dancing constantly, there is a huge oppression coming at an extreme speed, and thunder and lightning are converging. All the people in Mock Town suddenly felt a suffocating breath, which made everyone swallow their saliva. Boom! In the next instant, a thunderlight that illuminated the four directions came crashing down, shaking the entire sky and the sea. Boom! Mock Town was smashed through again, the seawater boiled and splashed, and the violent airwaves swept the ground frantically again, and came out 3 feet from the ground. Shajur-Ching endured the pain in his chest and the turbulent chi and blood, and stepped on the moon step to withdraw as quickly as possible, so as not to be affected by this violent aftermath, and his injuries would be further injured. Bastard jerk, I'm here, I'm a failure. In the thunder and lightning, it seems that a faint figure can be seen appearing and struggling, but in the end, in the continuous thunder and lightning, he just fell like this. The breath is gone, is it successful? Shajur-Ching stood in the distance, looking at the puddle of several hundred meters that still exuded a turbulent atmosphere. Observation hockey thought in his heart. This guy is really tenacious. In the face of such thunder and punishment bombardment, he can still have life characteristics. This kind of physical strength is really the most powerful existence I have ever seen. It's like a devil, it's terrifying. Enel's voice suddenly came over, and Jean Shajur-Ching immediately asked, "What's the matter, does this guy still have fighting power?" Enel's observation hockey cooperates with his current fluctuations to detect more detailed. Naturally, there is no fighting power, and the attack of the Thunder God is not just talk. Enel said very proudly after hearing this. That's good. Hearing this, Shajur-Ching couldn't help but sighed in relief, and then untied a piece of sea stone chain from his waist. This is a habitual behavior of Shajur-Ching, and will wear a sea stone chain on his waist, just in case. Ha ha ha, your kid is really amazing, you actually screwed this guy up, it's worth it for me to drive away the General Starcracker. At this moment, a hearty laughter came from in front of Shajur-Ching and the others. Shajur-Ching and others couldn't help but look over, but they saw Garp holding a bag of senbei and leading the adjutant over. Garp, Vice Admiral, according to what you said just now, you should have been here for a while. But you are actually watching the fun, you are not afraid that if I lose to Bullet and get killed by him, let your Shichibukai Marine 4 Emperor's structure balance tilt. Shajur-Ching said with a twitchy face. Garp, he actually watched him and Bullet fight fiercely without helping. It's too much. Chapter 331. You boy do it well. Ha ha ha, didn't I believe in your strength, that's why I didn't take action. Look, Bullet has been defeated by you, with your strength, you can almost walk sideways on the sea. Hearing this, Garp said nonchalantly. What's the matter with driving away Cracker? What is Cracker doing here? Chasing Bullet. Shajur-Ching doesn't know what's going on now. The sudden attack of the Bullet made him still bewildered. This is suddenly another Cracker, and he's even more confused. Smart kid, guess the key at once. Garp glanced at Shajur-Ching with admiration, and said, if the old man guesses correctly, the Bigu Mum pirates should be fighting the snipe and clam, and the fisherman's idea of profiting. But fortunately, your kid defeated Bullet so quickly, and the old man drove out Cracker by the way, so their plan completely failed. Hearing this, Shajur-Ching couldn't help frowning and said, so, I have to thank you. Garp, Vice Admiral. Forget it, don't talk about it, take away a dangerous character like Bullet. I had no grudges with him in the past, but recently I have no grudges against him, but he was suddenly attacked, and it's still a deadly kind. I'm very panicked now, Shajur-Ching said with a helpless expression. Then, he suddenly seemed to think of something and asked, Garp, Vice Admiral suddenly came to my mock town, I don't know why. You can't tell me, you just come and have a look. Hearing this, Garp immediately restrained his smile, looked at Shajur-Ching and asked, why are you recruiting Fire Fist Ace? Boy, your current power has reached the peak of Shichibukai, and you are not far from the 4 emperors. Do you plan to continue to expand? Speaking of this, Garp's face is already quite serious, especially when it comes to Ace. His eyes are extremely sharp. I didn't even think about recruiting others, but some people will definitely come to me. What can I do? When Shajur heard this, she shrugged helplessly, as if it was quite a helpless thing for him to recruit Ace. As expected of the Thunder Hunter, he can say this kind of thing so confidently. Well, it's a young Yingji after all. When Garp heard this, he immediately laughed, but just when Shajur thought that this matter was over, Garp's expression suddenly became serious again, and said, "This time it's me. You next time if you expand your power like this, I think the person here is probably Marine Admiral." Quote. Good luck, Thunder Hunter. After finishing speaking, Garp turned to look at Bullet, who had been salvaged and scorched all over, and said, "Take it away. This guy came here to warn me." Shajur was a little confused after hearing this, and then smiled bitterly in his heart. Sengoku, you really look down on me, and you sent Garp to warn me." Seeing Garp and the others leaving, Shajur sighed in her heart. When recruiting Ace, he knew that Marine would react, but he didn't expect Marine's reaction to be so great. Forget it, it's useless to think too much, it's over. However, this mock town is more than half useless. If you want to continue living in it, it seems that it will cost a lot of money. Shajur looked at this broken mock town and began to feel a little distressed about her small wallet. Chapter 332 Have a drink. Remove the alarm and organize people to recover from the disaster. Shajur said to Anna and Enel behind her. Yes. Enel and Anna took the lead, and Shajur, just as the two left, suddenly a large mouthful of blood spurted out, and his face suddenly became abnormally pale. Bullet's power is really powerful. Shajur clutched his chest and said this. He now feels his chest as heavy as an unconscious iron block, and it makes him breathless. This kind of power, if I hadn't used my illusion to win by surprise, it might have ended in a tie today. Bullet is really powerful. It's no worse than Katakuri. Shajur struggled to get up and walked towards the broken summer chamber of commerce. This injury on his body can't be treated without urgent treatment. In a few days, Big EPUB pirates. Bastard Garp, he actually stopped the old lady's plan, damn it. When Big EPUB knew that her plan was almost successful but was shattered by Garp, her mind collapsed and her lungs exploded. Garp. It's an amazing coincidence, it just happened to appear in Mock Town. However, I didn't expect the Thunder Hunter to be able to defeat Bullet. It seems that his danger is really getting bigger and bigger. An LT, P and GT. Katakuri on the side thought with a twinkle in his eyes. Moby Dick Island. Whitebeard Pirates Headquarters. It's cool, Shajur is a good boy. He actually defeated the Bullet guy. It seems that he has really grown to a very good point. Whitebeard held the newspaper in his hand and said proudly and comfortably. This is what Shajur can do, and he can grow to such a terrifying level when he goes out alone. It's impossible for someone to grow to this level in such a short period of time. Marco took out his ears and said lazily. Cool, tell that kid that the medicinal wine he gave tastes very good, and the effect is not bad. Let him send some more. Whitebeard suddenly said, with an expression like that of an alcoholic, who wants to drink upright. Father, if I hadn't seen that this medicinal wine is good for your body, I would have thought I didn't hear it. Hearing this, Marco couldn't help sighing and said helplessly. Whitebeard, cool, how can a man in the sea not drink, live a happy life, and drink can be more enjoyable? Okay, who made you a dad? Marco sighed again, and then said, I never thought that the effect of making wine with medicinal materials would be so good. I have been a doctor for so many years, but I have never seen it. Okay, I'll let that fellow Shajur bring wine. Marco scratched his head, and then dialed Shajur phone bug. Mock Town. Yo, big brother Marco, long time no see. After receiving Marco's call, Shajur couldn't help being a little surprised, and then chatted with Marco very well. Medicinal wine. Oh, okay, I will select a good medicinal wine right away and bring it to Dad personally. When Shajur-Ching heard that Whitebeard asked for medicinal wine, he immediately became energetic. Then, I ran to prepare the medicinal wine. Natsu, the Thunder Hunter, it's amazing. Bullet S-level monsters have been defeated by quilts. It's really become a thing. Sengoku rested his chin with his hands, and his eyes were full of dignified expressions. Chapter 333 How Dare I? His existence makes me feel that Shichibukai is going to be out of our control. However, the stronger he is, the stronger the deterrent to the four emperors and other pirates in the sea. This is a good thing. Alas, Shichibukai is really a double-edged sword. Sengoku sighed like this, feeling more and more headaches. When will this turbulent sea calm down? Sengoku looked at the pile of official documents, and felt more and more that taking over as Marshal Marine was a mistake. How dare I become the first target of Bullet's comeback, and I'm really struggling to think about it. In the past few days, the story of the Thunder Hunter Natsu defeating Bullet, the descendant of the devil, has spread throughout the world through major newspapers. Therefore, Shajur-Ching also understood why he was suddenly attacked by Bullet. But it's a pity, the Thunder Hunter, can't be anyone who can kill chickens and warn monkeys, unless that person is the four emperors. Shajur-Ching breathed a sigh of relief, and then looked at the pile of medicinal wine on the deck behind him, and Anna who was standing beside him. Anna, what's the matter? Your body is shaking like this, are you still nervous? Seeing Anna's face full of tension and Vivi's trembling body, Shajur-Ching couldn't help laughing and jokingly asked. How can I be nervous? When she heard Shajur-Ching's words, Anna's first reaction was to deny it. But before he could say a few words, he was directly collapsed by Shajur-Ching's eyes that seemed to be able to see through his inner thoughts, and stomped his feet angrily. Oh, it's already this time, why are you still making fun of me, ignoring it? You, quote. After speaking, he turned his head away with a snort of pride, with a look of, I'm very angry. Oh, how dare I make fun of you? Don't be angry, it will become ugly when you are angry, you will have wrinkles, and no one will like it. Shajur-Ching immediately had a serious look on her face, but she said something that made Anna even more frustrated. Shajur-Ching. Anna drank violently, with the expression on her face that she could not wait to eat Shajur-Ching. Okay, alright, no kidding, how come no one wants my Anna? You are a fascination, who can marry you, then it's a blessing for 3 lifetimes. Shajur-Ching hugged Anna with a doting face, and said sweetly. HMPH, if you know how to talk, I'll forgive you this time, otherwise, next time I must let you know how good I am. Be careful that I will make you a eunuch from now on, and be my sister. Anna hummed proudly, but Su's hand slowly moved down from Shajur-Ching's waist. This made Shajur-Ching can't help wiping the cold sweat on his forehead. These days, women who are too powerful are all roses, with thorns, and they will be hurt if they are not careful. New World, Moby Dick Island. Dad, I'm here to see you. As soon as he arrived at the outskirts of the island, Shajur-Ching jumped high and rushed towards the center of the island with the moon step. Cool, you're a kid, have you brought enough medicinal wine? Hearing Shajur-Ching's voice, Whitebeard's hearty voice was uploaded immediately, completely traversing the blockage of the island's jungle. Of course, Dad, and this time it tastes even better than the last batch, hee, you'll know after drinking it. Shajur-Ching answered with excitement on her face. Chapter 334 No Status. Ha ha ha, okay, you kid understand me. Hearing Shajur-Ching's words, Whitebeard laughed even more happily. In a minute, Shajur-Ching arrived in front of Whitebeard, and Anna followed behind him and fell. Who is this? Seeing Anna behind Shajur-Ching, Whitebeard and the others couldn't help but have a deep playful look in their eyes, and asked. Their playful eyes made Anna blush and lowered her head. She, Anna, the daughter of Mud Flow, my vice president. After seeing Marco and the others listening to their answers, they showed disbelief. Shajur continued, "Of course, he is also my woman." Sure enough, after hearing this, Marco and the others suddenly showed a unexpected expression. "Ha ha ha, that's okay, you kid, it's only been a few years since you kidnapped such a beautiful and powerful daughter-in-law." Marco was the first to open his mouth and smiled, then he looked at Anna and said with a smile, "Welcome, Anna, sister-in-law, treat this as your own home, don't be so restrained." Marco said this, the rest of the people also said, "Welcome." Quite the enthusiasm, which made Anna feel less anxious all of a sudden, and felt a little more down to earth and close. "Shajur didn't bully you, right? If he bullies you, just tell us, we'll help you out." Yes, if he bullies you, you can tell us and we will help you out." Well, these people didn't pass a second, so Shajur couldn't help wiping cold sweat. Hey, brothers, this is too much. How could I bully her? Am I the kind of person who is prone to domestic violence? Shajur said with a black line on her head. "Cool, good boy, since you have brought people here, you have to treat them well. In the future, you are not allowed to mess around outside and do things that are sorry for others, understand?" At this time, Whitebeard said, "Of course, Daddy, how can a good man like me get involved?" Hearing Whitebeard's words, Shajur couldn't help but wipe the cold sweat from his forehead again. "Thank you, Dad." But Anna heard Whitebeard's words, thanked his very sweet Isho, and then cast a proud glance at Shajur. At this moment, Shajur began to doubt whether he was still a member of the Whitebeard pirates. How could he, his own son, be more powerful than Anna, a daughter-in-law? "Cool, Shajur isn't very sensible, I'll take care of you in the future." Whitebeard grinned Isho very happily, and entrusted Shajur to Anna. Anna, "Hey, okay, Daddy." Well, as soon as Anna arrives, Shajur has no status. "Ha ha ha, Shajur, what's the matter? Looking at your aggrieved expression, you're like an angry little daughter-in-law." Marco and the others looked at Shajur with a face of grievance, the black line, and couldn't help joking again. This made Shajur roll his eyes. "Okay, hurry up and go to the bar, I've been hungry for a long time." Whitebeard changed the subject in time, turning the matter from Anna's body to the medicinal wine. "Having said that, we will send someone to bring the wine." Seeing this, Shajur hurriedly stopped. "I don't have to worry about this, I have already shipped it." Chapter 335 Good Wine, Whitebeard is happy. "Oh, so fast." Hearing Shajur words, Whitebeard couldn't help being surprised. Immediately, just as Shajur finished speaking, another Shajur he saw came over with a big wheeler dragging a pile of wine. "Deity, the wine you want is here." This Shajur who came with the wine, said so. Boom. Upon seeing this, Shajur immediately sealed the seal, and immediately, the Shajur who was dragging the wine, disappeared into smoke with a bang. Hey, what an amazing skill. Every time I see it, I feel amazing. Looking at this scene, including Whitebeard and others, can't help but wonder. "Dad, try it and see how it tastes." Shajur didn't say anything about their praise, but said to Whitebeard like this. "Cool, let me taste it, how does this wine taste?" Whitebeard couldn't help but flash a thick light in his eyes. Then, he grabbed a jar of wine, removed the sealant, raised his head and took a big mouthful of it. In an instant, a mellow, spicy, and soft feeling hit, but the moment it entered his throat, it instantly turned into a fiery force, and went straight to Whitebeard's body, making his body suddenly it became hot, and there was a faint white mist coming out. Whitebeard's whole body was on fire, exuding a suffocating aura, and the sky was rolling with vivi. Comfortable, good wine. Whitebeard only felt that his body seemed to be several % lighter in an instant, and there was a steady stream of power bursting out, and he couldn't help but exclaimed excitedly. "Dad, wait, stop drinking, you can only drink so much a day, and if you drink more, you'll have to make up for it. Seeing Whitebeard's face full of contentment, Shajur-Ching hastened to stop it. Then, he continued, also, this medicinal wine is the strongest of all wines so far. No one can drink a whole jar of wine at one time. Dad, you have to mix it with other wine to dilute it a little. What is the effect of drinking pure water directly? Dad, you already knew it just now, and only your body can bear it. If you don't want my son to be chased and beaten by other brothers, let's drink it diluted. It won't be so strong, the effect of the medicine will be softer, and you can drink it for a longer time. Shajur-Ching urged Ja advice. Okay, since you said so, then I'll listen to you. However, you should bring more wine in the future, your father will be fine. Whitebeard still listened to Shajur-Ching's persuasion and put down the wine jar. Hey, that's a must, it's the only thing I can honor your old age. Shajur-Ching scratched his head and said shyly. I finally know why Daddy spoils you so much. You are the only way to please Daddy, and it's the same for me. At this time, Marco's sour voice came from the side. Shajur-Ching couldn't help but look, but he saw Marco, the eldest son of the Whitebeard pirates, looking at Shajur-Ching with a face full of jealousy. Ha ha ha, Marco brother, you are joking, without you guys accompanying Dad, what's the use of me just sending wine? Seeing how much Shajur-Ching can talk, Marco, Vista and others who listened to it all nodded in satisfaction. Ha ha ha. Seeing this scene, Whitebeard couldn't help laughing happily. Chapter 336 I'm also anxious now. The happy time always passed very quickly. In the blink of an eye, Shajur-Ching stayed on this Moby Dick Island for 2 days, and it was time to leave. Go, and next time you come, bring me some wine. Whitebeard laughed and said goodbye to Shajur-Ching. He was so drunk that Marco and the others couldn't help but quickly stop drinking for him, and then began to measure various data on his body. Whitebeard is so old and doesn't take care of his body so much, if something happens, it's over. Maritime. How about it? Let me say that they are very kind and feel their enthusiasm. Shajur-Ching was lying on the bow of the boat, looking at Anna with a smile on her face. You talk too much, be careful I'm suing Father Whitebeard, saying you bullied me. When Anna heard the words, she snorted proudly and said proudly. Okay, you're a baby now, so I'm not having fun. Hearing Anna's words, Shajur-Ching really wanted to say, God, you have changed, you were not like this before. He felt more and more that bringing Anna to see Whitebeard was a wrong thing. Looking at Anna's fussing now, she is about to ignore Shajur-Ching. Seeing Shajur-Ching's pissed off appearance, Anna suddenly ran over, took Shajur-Ching's arm, and said coquettishly, Oh, don't do this, I know it's wrong. As he spoke, he looked like a pear blossom with rain, which made people feel pity. HMPH, I won't forgive you like that, I'm a careful person. Shajur-Ching couldn't help turning her head away when she heard the words, with a proud and charming look on her face. Oh, I really know I'm wrong, so you can forgive me. Next time I don't dare, just forgive me. Well, Anna is so coquettish that she can numb people's bones. This voice is so pitiful. Only this time, there must be no next time, understand? Otherwise, I will definitely punish you properly, you know. I'm not joking with you, I'm talking to you very seriously now. Shajur-Ching looked at Anna seriously and said. Punishment? What kind of punishment? Hearing this, Anna couldn't help shrinking her neck, and asked tentatively with some uneasiness. How can I tell you this? However, Hancock is begging for mercy under my punishment. Hee, you better prepare yourself mentally. Shajur-Ching took a deep look at Anna with a smirk on her face, then closed her eyes and continued to rest. This made Anna even more uneasy. Shajur-Ching continued. Let's go, when we pass the Windless Belt, let's stop by Amazon, and it's time to talk to Hancock about the future. By the way, the two of you will also meet, so that my heart will fall to the ground. Ah, Is it too early to go to Amazon now? Hearing this news, Anna was a little cowardly, and she spoke out very anxiously, with resistance written all over her face. She said, "I'm not ready yet, isn't this too fast?" Hearing Anna's words, Shajurching said proudly, "Finally, you are afraid too." Then, he opened his eyes, looked at Anna and said, "I'll see you sooner or later, just this time. To be honest, I'm more nervous than you, don't be afraid, I'm with you." Chapter 337 Hancock is Jealous. Okay. After hearing Shajurching's words, Anna thought for a moment, and then reluctantly agreed. "Well, let's go." When Anna agreed, Shajurching couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. If Anna doesn't agree, things will be troublesome. Sailing is always a little boring. But Shajurching was never bored this time. 5 days have passed, and it has been quite fulfilling, and it is even a little unsustainable. "Anna, it's a little bad. I've kept Young Yuan for 15 years, and you just took it away." Shajurching looked like she was taken out of time, looking at her radiant face, like Anna who was standing on the bow of the boat with a proud peacock. She said with a heartache. "HMPH, that can only be because of your lack of concentration and temptation, that's why I succeeded. Why, do you want to wipe your mouth and refuse to admit it after eating? I tell you, after this time, just wait and hold the baby." Anna leaned on the bow and said proudly. Do you have to get pregnant before Hancock?" Hearing Anna's words, Shajurching suddenly had a headache. "HMPH, I want it, you can't control it." "Who knows?" Anna snorted arrogantly after hearing this, and said quite proudly. Okay, whatever you want." Shajurching also knew that this was a sign of Anna's insecurity, so she just let her go. "But I have to say that in the past 5 days, he really learned what it means to taste the forbidden fruit for the first time. If it wasn't for his control, I'm afraid he would have been drained by Anna now." No wind belt, coming soon. Before that, Shajurching called Hancock and gave her a mental preparation. "Otherwise, bring a woman here, isn't this an obvious challenge provocation?" But even so, Shajurching still underestimated the seriousness of this matter. So, when the two arrived here, all the subjects of the entire Amazon Lily, as well as Hancock, all appeared at the port to greet. Hey, this battle is really big, is this a disgrace?" Seeing this scene, Shajurching couldn't help but feel a little bad in his heart. "Natsu, you finally came to see the concubine again, the concubine is so happy, I miss you so much." Before Shajurching got close to the shore, Hancock rushed into his arms like a cheetah. Not only that, but her slender jade legs tightly hooped Shajurching's waist and hung on him like this. And where Shajurching couldn't see, Hancock glared at Anna fiercely, declared his sovereignty, and then a proud person owned Shajurching. "Hancock, I miss you too, but why don't you come down first? So many people are watching, it won't affect you well." Shajurching said helplessly. "HMPH, no, you actually brought a woman here. The concubine is not happy, the concubine is angry. Hancock, who has always been arrogant and aloof, is now jealous like a little girl. Be obedient, come down first, okay. You two should also get to know her. She is Anna, and you will be sisters in the future. If you don't like each other, I will have a headache in the future." Shajurching said with a headache after hearing this. Although he also knew that it would take time for Hancock and Anna to meet like this honestly, but this was the first time that the situation was deadlocked like this, which still made him very distressed. After all, he is not a person who is good at love. He said in his heart, "If only I hadn't come to this Amazon Lily at the beginning, otherwise, it won't be like this now." Chapter 338 Change your face like flipping a book. If Shajurching had known about this kind of thing earlier, he would have left immediately when he woke up. There will be absolutely no entanglement with Hancock and the others. No, I don't want a concubine." Hancock still didn't want to come down after hearing this, and said very aggrievedly. Seeing this scene, Ching shook his head helplessly and said, I promise, I will never bring women back to be your sisters again. Come down first, okay? Really? Hearing these words, Hancock immediately spoke up, and there was a hint of movement in his tone. Really, I promise, if I mess with flowers and weeds again in the future, I'll be struck by lightning, and I won't. Before Ching finished speaking, Hancock interrupted her mouth. She covered Ching's mouth with her hands and said, I don't want you to make such a poisonous oath, my concubine believes you. Hancock looked at Ching affectionately for several seconds, and then finally got off Ching. The ship, just at this time, docked. First meeting, Empress, Boa Hancock. After getting off Ching, Hancock approached Anna on the lotus step, looked down at Anna, and said proudly. After all, she is the Empress, the lord of a country, and she is used to bossing around. Even though Anna's aura is quite good, in front of Hancock, it still pales in comparison. Vice President of the Summer Chamber of Commerce, Anna, the daughter of the mud flow, the Empress, hello. Of course, Anna is not a late-night fuel-efficient lamp, height. She activated her ability to create a faucet, and when she stepped on it, she looked at Hancock. Just when the two looked at each other, the female warriors on the shore all looked at Anna with bad eyes. If eyes kill, then Anna and Ching are estimated to have died thousands of times. Ching clearly saw that just after the two introduced themselves, there was a fierce spark between the two. Henku. Seeing this scene, Ching wanted to smooth the game, so that the two would not be in such a tit-for-tat confrontation, but was immediately interrupted by Hancock. It's between the two of us, just leave it alone. Yes, leave it alone, it's our business. We'll solve it ourselves. Anna also spoke up immediately and said without showing weakness. Ah. Well, Ching really lost her temper for a while. I am the main palace, you are not allowed to rob me. Hancock speaks first and takes his place as the queen. No problem, I came later anyway, so what if the main palace is given to you? I just hope you can get along well with me. Anna has a little more life experience than Hancock, so even though she is younger than Hancock, she is more sensible than her. Okay, no problem, you're welcome, Sister Anna. Hearing Anna's almost subdued words, Hancock couldn't help holding Vivi's head up, and then, the eyes that were very bad just now suddenly became very kind. Hello, Sister Hancock. Anna was also sweet-isho, and responded and left, which made Ching really see how fast women can change their faces. Come on, Hancock, Anna, I have a lot of things to discuss with you. Seeing this scene, Ching couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief, and then, holding one in each hand, he walked towards the shore. Welcome. Anna landed and was welcomed by the female warriors of Amazon Lily. Chapter 339 Concubine So Happy. Hello, please give me more advice in the future. Others are so polite, and Anna naturally won't show her face. Although there may be more troubles in the future, but at least it is peaceful now. Alas, if there are no diamonds and no porcelain work, the ancients will not deceive me. Ching looked at the two stunning beauties around her, thinking in her heart. Immediately, the group went to the palace and began to discuss the business. Royal Palace. As soon as Ching took his seat, he announced the news that the headquarters of the Summer Chamber of Commerce would move to Wafang. Really, you're moving your Summer Chamber of Commerce? Hearing this news, Hancock's pupils shrank, and he couldn't believe it. Then, after reacting, he couldn't help hugging Ching's arm excitedly, and said, That's great, I will be able to see you every day from now on. Ching stopped the excited Hancock and continued, Also, you will be the vice president of the Summer Chamber of Commerce. Hancock didn't feel anything about this news. For her, as long as Ching was by his side, everything would be fine. But the mother-in-law on the side couldn't help but nodded, and then said, Thunder Hunter, although you are the son-in-law of 9 Snake Island, you are indeed allowed to enter here, but Speaking of which, why did my mother-in-law look at Shajurching like this, without saying anything else? She believed that Shajurching, a really smart person, must understand what he meant. Don't worry, the Chamber of Commerce will not be located on Nine Snake Island, nor will the nearby islands, so as not to destroy the balance here and bring unnecessary trouble and crisis. I have already selected the location, on Sky Island. When the time comes, it will be suspended on the Nine Snake Island. I will establish a connecting route between Nine Snake Island and Sky Island, and strictly control the border, so that the second a man appeared on Nine Snake Island. Quote. Shajurching said it very well. Okay, yes, it's the Thunder Hunter, really thoughtful. Hearing Shajurching's words, my mother-in-law nodded. Then, Shajurching continued to talk about his plan. And Hancock and Anna kept nodding as they listened, their eyes filled with admiration. In this process, 2 hours have passed. Okay, that's all my plans, mother-in-law, no problem. Shajurching looked at her mother-in-law and said. No problem, Thunder Hunter, your thinking is very clear, and the old man has no opinion. The mother-in-law nodded, there was no objection. You're amazing, Naz, that's amazing. Hancock pounced on him, his face full of fans. Not to mention, this makes Shajurching feel a sense of accomplishment. What a great sense of achievement to be praised by Hancock like this. After all, Hancock is one of the most beautiful women and one of the tallest women in the world. And Anna on the side, well, he really can't do this. But she knew what she had to do, so she silently came behind Shajurching and beat his shoulders to relieve his fatigue. Since you have no opinions on your side, you can start preparing for construction. I will immediately notify the people at the Summer Chamber of Commerce to start preparations. It won't take long, Hancock, Anna, we will be able to meet every day. Shajurching hugged both of them into her arms, kissed each of them on the face, and said, promise me that we will get along well in the future, okay? The two women did not answer this question. This made Shajurching sigh and said, okay, let's get along first. Chapter 340. Are you satisfied with this daughter-in-law? Anna, Hancock, when the relocation of the Chamber of Commerce is ready, you two will go to the Whitebeard Pirates with me. Shajurching spoke suddenly. Anna couldn't help blushing when she heard the words, and Hancock obviously didn't understand what this had to do with Whitebeard, so he was confused. On the other hand, when the mother-in-law heard this, she couldn't help but move her pupils, as if thinking of something. She also looked towards Shajurching. Hancock, Nath is just my pseudonym, my real name isn't this, there are some things in there, and now I can tell you too. Looking at Hancock's confused eyes, Shajurching explained. Well, you say. Hearing this, Hancock nodded, and upon seeing this, Shajurching began to say, my real name is Shajurching, Shajurching with blood pupils, a member of the 2nd Division of the Whitebeard Pirates. After hearing this, the mother-in-law immediately showed such an expression as she expected. Shajurching, a member of the Whitebeard Pirates. Doesn't that mean? Hancock suddenly exclaimed with a look of hindsight. Yes, that is to say, Whitebeard is about to become our father. We will have a relationship with the Whitebeard Pirates, and we may be surrounded by Marine. I hope you will be prepared. At this time, Anna said aloud. Concubine will not be afraid, don't underestimate me. Hearing Anna's words, Hancock replied with a strong smell of gunpowder. All right, Anna is just telling you what's going on. Don't be so angry. When Shajurching heard the words, she immediately spoke up, interrupting the beginning of a possible quarrel between the two. Humph. Hearing these words, Hancock snorted proudly and turned his head away. Seeing this scene, Shajurching couldn't help shaking his head, then got up and stood up, saying, Anna, let's go, we will meet the Summer Chamber of Commerce. Hancock, wait here for me when I arrive, I will take you to see Dad, and then, just it's time to make our relationship public. Well, I see, my concubine understands. Hancock pursed his mouth and looked at Anna, who was holding Shajur Ching tightly, and replied unhappily. The technique of thunder clone. Seeing this, Shajur Ching made a seal, separated a lay clone, and said, I'll leave my clone to accompany you. Okay, good boy, we'll be back soon. Shajur Ching, then you must go and come back quickly, my concubine will miss you. Hancock said goodbye to Shajur Ching with some reluctance. I'll be back soon. Don't worry, Hancock. Shajur Ching made a heart-to-heart gesture towards Hancock, and then left. On the way, Shajur Ching told Whitebeard about her relationship with Hancock again. Suddenly, it caused a huge sensation in the Whitebeard pirates again. Good boy, he actually got all the arrogant women like Empress Hancock in his hands without saying a word. It's yours. This time, even Vista and others couldn't help but admire Shajur Ching. It's amazing. Ha ha ha, I'll bring her to see you then. Dad, are you satisfied with this daughter-in-law? Shajur Ching communicated with Whitebeard with a proud face. Cool, your kid is amazing. Well, he is indeed my Whitebeard's son. Whitebeard also praised him. Empress Hancock, you can't get it if you want to soak it. This is a peerless rose with fresh thorns. It's really amazing to make her your own woman.